the bid process in, I think, September that was paid. So you'd think at that point, you know, that all the billing has been kept current. And
Right.
how did we fall a year and something behind?
Part of what happened is that the parking lot was not available to perform any work on because it was being used for construction and materials and such. It was completely torn up for a very long period of time. When we started meeting for our renovation committee, talking about doing work on the interior of the building before we made the decision to join Washington County, we were talking about having enough money to do things there and the parking lot. What's really a shame is that we went through all of this and back at the beginning of this year, when we were working on our renovation committee, that the parking lot didn't get completed when we were still Lake Elmo Public Library.
Yeah.
That's what happened. The project was halted instead of continued, and we would have, I know I don't remember what point that we could have gotten in. I don't know why we didn't get in. We should have had the parking lot completed while we were still in.
It would have been done and we wouldn't have had these questions to deal with.
Exactly, and that's part of the problem. Nobody spends that kind of money anticipating that we're just going to close the door on it and walk away. We spend this money anticipating that we would have a lovely parking lot of green space and that the front of the building would be what we designed and spent money on and planned. It's very unfortunate that that didn't happen. And that's why we're dealing with what we're dealing with today. They didn't get a chance to finish.
Additionally, I agree with what you said, Margo. And additionally, I would say Confluence did take an unusually long period of time to get the engineering work done on the project. And that was a delay that probably was the difference between this project happening and not happening.
Yeah, and so, was it Brett? Somebody said nobody wanted to work on it.
Yeah, that was correct.
It was too small or something, or
Right.
there was some reason that none of the engineers wanted to sign on.
Well, we paid Emmons and Oliver Resources $1,000 to coordinate this. I don't know if that means that they should be doing something to try and clear this up, or if it's up to us to clear up, or if we just approve it. I guess at this point, I'm not gonna vote for approving it because I'm so unsure of how all this occurred and was billed and.
Well, Emmons was initially paid, and then I believe it was determined there was a conflict of interest, and that
Yeah,
was
he
halted.
couldn't, yeah.
So that could not continue on beyond the point that it did.
My observations in looking at this, when we ask ourselves questions about, don't people normally just bill monthly or more current or whatever? I mean, it looks to me like the way this contract and this project was established, you know, it had specific areas, and it's on both the bills, you know, schematic design, design development, construction documents, bidding and construction administration, permitting, grant applications, coordination, site survey and engineering. And if you read the contract, I believe those things are identified in here as well. So it's kind of broken down into sections. Here's how much we're gonna charge you for these specific tasks. And it feels to me like they've billed on a task basis rather than on a monthly basis,
Exactly.
which is not uncommon.
Exactly.
I've seen it both ways in all of the invoices that I deal with. And so it looks to me like, for example, on the June bill, they hadn't yet billed us for bidding and construction administration. If you look, the previous fees that they billed were zero. So they billed nothing for that task, and they billed for the task. And if you look on the May, it's similar in that they hadn't yet billed anything for the construction documents task, and they billed for that task. That's why hours go back so far in my mind.
Yes, it
I'm
has
not
to be.
saying, you know, is this the right amount they should bill? But it does make sense to me. I'm not confused by their billings. I get that. A lot of times contracts of this sort are billed by task, and the hours could be a long span. Even I think their billing software is set up that way to sort
If it
of
was
grab a task, you know.
If it was a
So-
multi-million-dollar contract, and I've done engineering
Yeah.
contracts that have been over $1 million, they bill by the month, because they're not gonna hold $200,000.
It's just two different ways of billing,
Right.
now
Yes.
whether, would we have liked to have known this? Yes, was it the best way to bill for us? No. I'm just saying,
Right.
that's what I think they're doing.
Yeah,
It doesn't
totally.
seem to me like they're trying to do something,
Well, there's
fishy
plus
or
the added piece of,
pull a fast one, I think
well,
it's
it's the added piece that we're not
legitimate,
actually
yeah.
doing it, which makes it,
It's
Yeah.
hard to swallow.
We
but
have
if it's
no
a,
basis
but if it's a
not
full
to pay
plan,
them.
I mean, the city could use it.
It
If
is,
you
you got a
chose
nice
to.
plan.
Where do we have the plans, here or are they at City Hall?
We actually approved allowing the city to vote to put in a just paved parking lot with no lights. So
Yeah.
we, the board, approved that. So
But if they have it, they have a plan that they could use.
sure they do,
But yeah,
but it's going to cost them more money than they're willing to spend, which is a shame.
Yeah, does
That's
anybody
another-
wanna
that's
spend this
another
kind of
issue.
money on the project that didn't happen? No, but that's, I don't think that means that Confluence gets.
I mean, what's being
stuff
done that
because
won't
they
even meet
did
the
the
city
work that
code
we
for
contracted with them
parking
to
lots.
do. I mean, I think we
Yeah.
have to be ethical in
Yeah.
business
And
practices
that,
here.
that was my question, that are we getting billed for work that was actually done?
Right.
Yeah.
and they've
Or
proven
was
that,
it
yeah.
included stuff that was maybe gonna happen after all the plans got, and things started?
Right.
And I think,
and are
So
we
what
legally
you're saying-
liable? I mean, could they come back if we
Well,
didn't
of
pay?
course we are.
Yeah, but I mean, that's, so, I mean, if it's stuff that we actually contracted them to do and they actually did the work, and they billed for the hours they worked, even though we're not using it, I mean, if we said, no, we're not gonna pay this, they would have a right to come back and sue.
Absolutely.
If they sent the drawings out for bid, they did the work.
Yeah.
That's real simple.
And they were able to provide a detail of the hours that
Yep.
supported the task that they're billing for here.
Mhm.
I think they're even saying, hey, we actually had more stuff, but, for the contract, we're
Right,
Yeah.
exactly,
You know.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
but,
Do we have to do anything?
Yeah,
We
we'll
have to approve
the voucher.
the voucher for
Okay.
$11,000.
$8.61.
So moved.
61 cents.
That helped my engineering friends,
I'll second.
whoever they are.
I think that's the ethical and correct thing for the library board to do, will be my comments on the.
All in favor of the motion of paying Confluence, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay?
Nay,
Are you married?
Well, it's hard, yeah, especially when you weren't here to approve the thing, the first thing, where you don't feel obligated to, I understand that completely.
I feel
Motion passes.
obligated to pay them, just I'm unsure of if it's correct, so.
Yeah.
And as I said last time, I feel my most important obligation here is to watch out for the financial interest of the taxpayers of Lake Elmo, and I have a question, so.
Yeah.
Is the city
I'll put it
aware
in.
that we have this plan? They
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah, they know that this
They
plan
can
is
move
here, and they
forward
know
if they chose.
And they know that this is 11 more thousand they're gonna have to
Pipe
pay toward the county.
Pipe dream. I mean, they're paying for it, maybe
I-
they wanna use it.
Like to note and thank you for doing that work.
Yep,
You're
thanks.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right, new business, none? Future business?
We do not
Why
have
is
a
there, why is it
future.
even on here?
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
does anybody feel any reason for calendar of anything after this?
Friends of the library are meeting tomorrow. Come join us, 4:30.
Yes, we will go on.
We will.
Do we adjourn this meeting, or is adjourn imply that it's gonna continue on?
Well, I would
Some other day?
just like a quick, this is something I do with my class, just quick word whip, everybody can, not a big long summary, but everybody get a quick last say around the block. I appreciated this experience. I think, dealing with diverse group personalities, people in the public, having to do like a huge city meeting was a very entertaining thing for me. A new experience, definitely. But I just want to say thank you for all, not only just like picking me to be on the board and recruiting me, but also giving me the chance to be the chair of the board during this like tumultuous time. But thank you anyway, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Judy, any final words?
Okay, I'm amazed that you're thanking me for recruiting. I was wondering if you'd regret that, but, well, it's been a long road, since the beginning. I mean, I was looking back at some of the things, you know, we were meeting in the city council chambers and, oh man, we didn't really know what we were doing. You know, and we learned fast, and the learning curve was like this, and I think we made good decisions. I mean, they were difficult, and there were lots of different opinions, and people wanted to go one way, and other people wanted to go another way, but in the end, look at what we did, you know, all of us. And I agree with you, Sarah, you know? It's a wonderful accomplishment, and we have a library in downtown Lake Elmo that looks like it's really going to stay, so.
My thoughts would just be, you know, one, I feel very, very thankful to all of you. I feel it's been a privilege to work on this board. I'm honored to have been part of it. I learned so much from all of you, coming in kind of as a newcomer, 2.5 years ago or so. And man, did we have a lot going on when I came to this board. So I was on a lot of different things, the association committee and this and that, and we worked really hard, and we
Yes,
put
we
in a
did.
ton of hours, and mine are minuscule compared to the rest of you and what you did. And I feel like this community owes you a debt of gratitude for basically saving this library that was on the verge of closure, and for what, you know, you did for this community. I'm so proud of all of you, and I'm just privileged to have been a part of it for a small amount of time.
Man, ditto.
No, that's not gonna pass.
No, this has been a trip. This has been a very interesting experience, especially for coming in my 1-year anniversary is coming up next year, or next month, so, but this has been a very interesting experience, and I'm very, very thankful that, I was able to share it with everyone here, and I'm, as Julie said, am incredibly thankful and impressed with all the work that's been done and saving this library that is such an asset to this wonderful community, and I am proud to have been a small part of it, and I look forward to continuing to come here constantly and enjoy the work that everyone has done. It's up for us. Thank you.
I don't have a lot to add. I would just say that I stuck my tongue out on many occasions, and in the end, I'm glad that the consensus of the board made the decisions it did. I think that we made a lot of good ones. My only regret is that last June, when I said it was going to cost Lake Elmo residents a lot of money to join the board, I was told by Christina in very certain terms I was wrong, and it was going to cost us about a 14% premium to join the county. I got the figures today from the county finance person. Next year, Lake Elmo will be paying $335,000 for 40 hours a week. Had we stayed on, I'm sure the council would not have approved a raise for us, and it would have been $256,000, and we would have had a $150,000 kicker. So whoever voted to close this library was doing it under totally false premises, without any basis whatsoever, and I strongly regret that, and I sent the note out today so that I hope that Katrina and some of the other people that made those decisions are aware of it. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's a lot, and that does not include the fact that we're now going to have to pay for two new libraries, plus our own, because this apparently needs a $600,000 improvement on our $500,000 worth of surroundings. But I'm not trying to be bitter on that. I'm just saying the politics really hurts. The work that was done for the residents, I strongly appreciate. Everybody that was involved, the staff, and the board members, and certainly the volunteers, who we owe a lot to, enormous amount to.
I very much appreciate the opportunity to be part of this board and part of the people on this board and getting to know all of you. anyone who has listened has known that my opinions haven't always been the same as everyone else's, and not always in the direction that we traveled. I am looking forward to a future where there will be a Lake Elmo Public Library, well, a Washington County Public Library that is in Lake Elmo, and I hope that it continues on for a very long time, and that the work that we did here continues with that library in the future. May Lake Elmo Library live long and prosper.
Geeks of the world. So, the story I love telling people, when we first opened the Friends Library, where we were just gonna put a marker down, darn it, we're gonna have a building with books. We wanted to collect 1,000 good books.
Yes, yeah, I remember.
And we put out the word 35,000 books later. People people mailed us books from Texas.
That's right.
And frankly, the books still are coming in, and we're still getting money from Better World Books for the Friends of the Library. The generosity of the community, the support, the spirit of support from the community. This is a heck of a fine community. And there's a bunch of smart people here. It's been fun. I would have preferred things turned out differently, but we've still got a library in Lake Elmo, and that's no small thing. And it's a fine library.
I'm out of turn, but the minutes need to reflect the
I
work
was
Paul
thinking-
did on taking care, managing all the books that came in and out of this building, which is enormous.
Yes.
And nobody knows but a few of us, and Paul.
Well, and the people I invited into working with me, which is most of you.
You're right.
I have to apologize to Paul, because a good part of those 35,000 books were mine, I think. I cleaned out my bookshelves and started over.
That's fine.
I have I also have a story. It's more of an admission to make. In 2012, there was an election, and we didn't have a library then. And Mike Pearson came to my house campaigning for mayor, and I'd never met him before, and we got into a heated discussion about the library, and he wanted to buy this building and make a library here, and I said, won't work, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. And he said, what you don't understand is that we have a real good group of volunteers and friends that will make it happen. And I said, won't work. And he said, let me try. And I said, okay. But I said, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna come and tell you about it. And he said, that's fine. So after about 2 or 3 years, I had to go to him and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. They made it happen. So if I could thank anybody here, it would be the volunteers, the friends, and especially the staff, including Nate, and all the board members who have served on the board here, because those people made this happen when actually I didn't think it could happen, and a lot of people probably didn't think it could happen. But there's a group of people who dug in and made it work, and I thank them, all of them.
Nate, you're welcome to go.
Oh, okay. So.
I'm sure we weren't the easiest to work with, and so
Yeah.
go ahead, let us have it.
No, well, that's.
It's Christmas, come on.
Yeah. This, one of the things I tell people when people ask me about the Lake Elmo